I'm very sorry for your loss. I know Charlie was one of your best friends. I'm grateful you made time today to call into the show. Founder, of course, of PA Chase. You guys worked very hard to win Pennsylvania together. So thank you for coming on.
Appreciate you having me, Rich, as always.
I know you're going out to Arizona on Friday. Looks like it's going to be a very powerful and impactful event in Charlie's memory. Can you tell us a little about it?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's been a horrific week. I always like to start by, not trying to be positive and jump past it. I mean, that's typically how I grieve as a Delco kid, try to find some joke or laugh about something. It's a wild time in America. For all of us, I'll take you back. I mean, I was actually in Florida when it happened. I was with a couple people from Turning Point, and the first news came in that, hey, Charlie's been shot. And your mind just races. You're like, okay, well, did they hit him in the foot? Where did they hit him? Is he alive? Is he not? And the next 30 minutes were probably the most gruesome 30 minutes of my life, where you start to see the video. And then you see the video and you're searching for, well, is there any chance that he's still alive? What reports are out there? It was just gut wrenching for so many of us that knew him, that worked with him, that appreciated him, that called him a mentor. And so this event in Arizona on Sunday, you're going to have President Trump there, J.D. Vance, a bunch of the cabinet members. Erica will obviously be there to speak. But, Rich, I love Charlie Kirk. He's a great man. One of the things I tell everybody is he believed what he said, and he said what he believed. And it's wild to think that because of him being such a great messenger and this radical lunatic not being able to beat him when it comes to the battle of ideas, it's a sad day in America when he decides that taking a bullet to take him out is the way to go. There's just no words.
Yeah, man, I was on the air. I was getting ready to do the show when the news came, and then I saw the video. I mean, it was one of the hardest shows I've ever had to do, and I didn't know Charlie particularly well. Certainly not like you knew him. He was on the show a few times over the years. I had tremendous respect for him, but I mean, for people like yourself who were in the trenches with him personally, I mean, the shock, the trauma. I'm really sorry. I just never imagined, something like this could happen. You just don't, and people may not realize this, but you knew this about him. He had a great sense of humor as a Delco guy, and you talk about the importance of humor, and gallows humor is a lot. He had a great sense of humor. Like when South Park did the whole thing about him, he thought it was hysterical. And I don't know if a lot of people ever really saw that side of Charlie, because they always saw the serious side of him engaging with people on college campuses. But I was very impressed by his sense of humor.
No, he had a heart of gold, and yeah, he's very quick, quippy, if you will, just always willing to spit back at somebody or to shoot back at somebody. I mean, if you watch, a lot of the best or the top tens or the best five interactions of Charlie Kirk, mostly all of them are one-liners, right? They're not
Yeah.
going after people for personal attacks, but they're one-liners, just kind of making jokes and calling people out for their hypocrisy. The other thing I've been doing, Rich, as I think back to a lot of my favorite memories with Charlie, but the number one memory, on election night, I got to do his show. And he had called me that morning after I did Bannon, and he saw me on the network, and he called me and said, hey, he said, do you want to come on the live stream? It's going to be a long, long time, but if North Carolina and Georgia come in, then PA will be the state that puts us over the top. And, we've partnered with you. You've run this PA Chase program. You've knocked 510,000 doors. I want you to be with me to analyze Pennsylvania so we can kind of see where the projection is. And my favorite memory of all time, most people have seen this clip. You've seen it. It's been shared, hundreds of millions of times now, is when PA is called and I come on to call it, Charlie breaks down in tears. And he's smiling, but he's crying. It's all the emotion hitting him. Erica walks onto the set, puts her arms around him, and we just, we talk through it. Remember this moment. Remember where you were when the establishment said that it wasn't possible. Remember that you told me to come back to Pennsylvania, my home state, because this would deliver the White House. Charlie could see into the future, but that moment is probably the one I think about the most. And when I was on the show, Jack Posobiec actually yesterday or 2 days ago, he mentioned to me, he said, Cliff, remember Charlie said, it's all God from that spot. And what was fascinating was he said, Cliff, you do realize that that's the exact spot that Erica Kirk gave her address to the nation, was in that same exact spot that Charlie said, it's all God, where we called the election. And I'm never coming on your show to preach, Rich, you know that. But that was a pretty spiritual moment for me to think about that, to think about the importance of that moment, and then have Erica come out to the nation and just double down and set the tone that we are just getting started. Pretty powerful stuff.